If you guys were here right now, you would see a grown-ass man laying on the ground taking pictures of a snail. That's what's going on in my yard right now. What's up, garden friends? Jeff here, Tropical Plant Party. How's everybody doing? I'm good. I'm great, actually. I hope you are too. So, as far as this week goes, things are a little different. I don't know how long the vlog's going to be because the things I'm doing are boring and heavy. And I'm not showing anything behind me because I'm filming my intro at the end of the week because I forgot to do it at the beginning. And there wasn't really much to see. But there's a lot of before and afters, I think, potentially. So, hopefully, this isn't total garbage. Let's find out. You see that? You see it? You know what that is? That is a banana flower. Never grown bananas. These are Biagio Bananas. It's not an edible banana. And where I live, they don't grow long enough to fruit. So, what the heck's going on there? He comes out. Come out. Come on out. There he is. Does anybody know what this thing is? Whatever these are, they bite. And it hurts so much. This tiny little thing, it feels like you're being stabbed. And they're actually why I don't do wood mounts for my orchids, because they always seem to come in with those wood mounts. For a while I thought it was some type of earwig or something like that. Or it could be the larva of something else maybe. I'm not sure. Whatever they are, I don't like them. Alright, new week, new projects. I decided that I need to thin this out. Like, I need to thin it out a lot. This is just a massive growth here. And these guys, these are the bikini teeny colocachas, they're just gonna keep on moving towards the sun. This is what they do, they run. Really, they're kind of invasive. I have several in my front yard that I didn't plant there. Don't know where they came from. Some birds must have eaten some seeds, or I don't know. You wanna see? Let's go look. I hope none of my neighbors are out watching me record. Feel weird. And that is a rental car, so I don't care that the license plate showed. It's looking better. Yeah. Thank goodness. That's not very hospitable. Alright. See these? I did not plant them. Don't know where they came from, why they're here. They're huge. They're bigger than the ones in the backyard. They're over here too. And they are everywhere. Oh, someone's been messing with my begonias. Look at that. Look at how that... Ugh. Maybe I can find a stake or something and a ladder. Or I can just cut it off. That seems way easier. So yeah, look at all these. I did not plant them. But I do remember last year telling a family member that I had some extra caladiums in the backyard that they could pull up and throw out here. And they probably didn't know what I was talking about. So that's a possibility. But I do still think it looks kind of pretty. Just wild and overgrown. Hey, you guys want to see the rest? Gingers. Oh, okay, that's all. I feel weird standing out in my front yard recording stuff. It's just impatience and elephant ears. Ain't nothing spectacular. Don't know when I started saying ain't. This guy's getting big. Look how big this agave is. Oh wait, I forgot I was in the middle of something. I need to thin these out. But first, before I start pulling those guys up, I'm running my sprinklers. I'm going to let them run, I guess, a full cycle, which I think is like 6 or 7 minutes. I wanted to get the soil nice and moist. If I didn't have sprinklers, then I would just use my hose and water them, get the ground nice and wet. So you might remember a few weeks ago, I already thinned this out quite a bit because it was getting really dense. There's weeds in there that I just couldn't get to, and I don't want them flowering and spreading, and I see some right now. And also right here I have an azalea that just about died last winter, and I'd like for it to get a little bit more light, and there's a really pretty lava rock under it with moss on it, and I just feel like I could do something with this spot that will look better. And since these are on the move anyways, I might as well pull them out. It's not like I don't have any to spare. And they are stupid easy to get out of the ground. These guys, they spread by runners, and their runners spread very shallow. I don't know if I'll be able to show any of those, because the last time I did a video with these guys, I pulled all the runners up off the patio. Alright, you can kind of see right here. See this? See it? Look at how shallow that is. It's that runner. So, it's not a big deal pulling these guys up. Super easy as long as the ground's nice and wet, and I guess if you have hard clay, it probably wouldn't work that well. This used to be heavy clay, but I add the gypsum and all the fun good stuff. Over the years, many years, it's helped to loosen up the top foot or so. Okay, it's really neither here nor there though. It's time to get to work. Now here, okay, I already pulled this one up. I have a leaf in. Someone sent me a text message. I'm gonna turn my camera off. So, look. Pops right up. No big deal. I might not get the roots on all of them, but I think I'll get most of them. These bigger guys are gonna be a little bit more of a challenge, at least to do with one hand. Yeah, there's not much root there, so if I want to save them, I'm gonna need to get more. Oh, okay, so see, that just happened. I'm gonna need 2 hands for that guy. And look at that. So, I went ahead and I just pulled them out. I think that probably took like 30 seconds. They just popped right out. And look at how many there are. So, this space cleared out now. Still a mess. There's some bamboo in here I need to pull out that I guess I missed when I was rhizome pruning earlier this spring. And yeah, I will garden around this stone and add little accents and details. Oh, the messes we make filming videos. It's funny because I actually spend, and most plant YouTube people spend a lot of time cleaning up their surroundings before they film, and then, you know, look at what happens. That's okay though. No problem. I barely pulled this one off. I was at like 6% battery by the time I was done. I feel like this is going to end up being a really short video. I just pulled the leaves off the trunk of this Cordylini, and now my fingers smell like pears? I'm not sure what that is. Fun. Oh, that was my finger. I have this moss here that I picked up at the Botanicals. It was in that haul not too terribly long ago. And I went to their website here. What is it? mossacres.com. I can't find anything that actually talks about what kind of moss is in here. And I would like to know. I could scour their website and just try and figure it out for myself, but there's a lot of stuff on there. I need to go ahead and rehydrate this for a different project. So the question here is, do I go ahead and set something up, like just like a small pan with some dirt in it, and start rehydrating it, and then give it a few days, and then move on to the project? Because the directions here, pretty much what I would think they would be, they just say to basically make sure they're pressed firmly without air pockets into your soil and water them. So I could just go ahead and use them without starting them first, but I think it'd look better if they looked nice when I got started. Oh, what the heck. Gotta get this stuff clean. I've switched to using paver base in a lot of like a topping in a lot of my pots. Just because it's a lot cheaper than like bonsai gravel, and it looks fairly similar, not quite as clean and nice looking, but man, it's dusty. I'm trying to get that flushed out for a while now. And we are filming a video. By we, well, I of course mean me. So this will probably be out, video should be out by the time the twig comes out. It depends. I'm incorporating this moss. Well, I don't need to show you. I just showed you the moss, and I want it to look nice and green when I release the video, so I might be doing this today and then having to wait a while until the moss looks nice to get like final shots to release the video. So I hope not though, because well, I don't feel like filming another video today. Ooh, we had some bad storms last night. It was good though, we needed a lot of rain. It's been a long time since we've had a heavy soaking, but it's got my crepe myrtle all wonky. That's okay, it should bounce back up, hopefully. But I'm not seeing any real damage other than that. And that may not even be damage, there's a little busted leaf there, no big deal. Banana flowers getting bigger. I really don't even know what to make of this, because it shouldn't be happening. It's happening on a new growth. A very young new growth. These bananas are supposed to take, I think, around 18 months, something like that, to bloom. And where I live, they die. I just let them pretty much die to the ground every winter. I try and preserve a foot or so of trunk, but that's never been enough to get them to flower. So this doesn't make sense to me, but I mean, hey, I'm okay with it. They're not edible anyways, but it looks cool. Oh, and looks like there's a new bud up here on the Crinum Lily. I have a busted leaf. I'll probably just have to cut that off. Oh well, not that big of a deal. Doesn't usually flower this time of year though, so that's kind of cool. They're already flowered. I thought you were done. Coffee. Fall. It's not fall yet. You know, I order the same thing every time I come here, but it always costs different. That makes no sense. Okay, so the person in front of me just drove right through like they forgot they ordered a coffee. They didn't stop at the window. They just kept, it was weird. Anyways, I have to buy rock. A lot of rock, lots of gravel. I need 2 different types, and one of them I have to go pretty far away to get. So I'm going there first. It's called World Outdoor Emporium. They have statues and pots and rocks, boulders, flagstones, all that fun stuff. So I got my coffee. It's actually not even coffee, green tea. Let's go. I finally found you. I missed the entrance, had to go in all different places and go around one way. I'm annoyed. But we are here. Now for the really fun part where I walk around with the camera talking to myself. Yay. Fun fact, I actually get really excited when I get to go look at rocks. Alright, this is what I need. What does that mean? Pick through price? That's a lot of money. 50 cents a pound? Holy frickin' fountains. I like this one. Nope. No. Alright, and change of plans. I am not shopping here. Never mind. Yeah, so, can't really support that kind of bullshit. Nope. Absolutely not. I'm gonna go to Home Depot. Long drive for nothing, but whatever. Yeah, they have these pebbles that I like at Home Depot. They're priced much better, but they're not as dark. They're kind of like a dusty, whitish colors. They don't blend perfectly, but like I said, fuck it. Maybe I'll spray paint them or something. I don't know. But what I do know is anybody who's selling that kind of shit getting a dime of my money. Nope. Bye. I have no idea where I am right now. I mean, I kind of do. The highway I was on turned into another highway, and there was no sign to tell me that was going to happen. Let me zoom in. What does that say? I need to go east. Nope, can't tell. Yes, home. Take me home. I don't want to be out here anymore. Okay, going to Lowe's first, because it's on the way to Home Depot. See what they have. I'm at Home Depot now, not Lowe's. Wow. Wow. That's pretty pathetic. I mean, really? Really? That shouldn't even be inside. Okay, that's kind of an interesting color. I'll give it that much. Okay, finally home. I have about 40 bags of rocks here. I'm not going to subject you guys to me spreading it because this is really boring. Before I get to this, I think I have some comments to respond to because I had the video about the Cordylines that went out this morning. So, moving on. And this is one of the areas that the gravel is going in. So I need to weed this out. The weeds have been just horrible here this year. They're usually not a problem at all. Weed this out, and then I will, you know, do the thing with the stuff I bought. I'll put the gravel down. Remember how I said I wasn't going to bore you with spreading gravel? Changed my mind. Only because I think the before and after might be kind of cool. Basically, this whole garden there, over there, this long berm over here, that's not the serenity garden. I'm not going to bother with that. You can't even see the gravel. And from here all the way down to there is gravel. And it's been a few years. It needs to be top dressed because, you know, rocks magically disappear over time. So, gonna do that. But first I have to go through here and actually clean up the edges so I have a place to put the gravel. And then back here there's all kinds of leaves behind here. I know that you would think this doesn't matter, but in a couple weeks time most of this won't actually be right here. So I need to be able to see the gravel all the way through. Gonna get to work. What? Tucker! Stop! He's been having stomach problems. Yeah, okay, so back to work. Yay, gravel! It's gotta be the most exciting thing you've seen all day. Not. This Lespedezra really needs to be cut back, but it only flowers along the branches, so if I cut it back, I'm gonna miss the show. So I think I'm just gonna say screw it and leave it, because I like the flowers. Or maybe I could just come down and trim the tips that are hanging over everything. It does look pretty wild. No, I'm not gonna sacrifice flowers for rocks. Get out of here. On to the other side. I'm gonna go through here, and I'm going to cut back any of the colocages that are hanging over. Stake up the pineapple lilies. This is where I'm a little bit torn. I like the dune grass. Some people hate it because it's very messy. But I like it draping over everything. It looks more natural that way. But I think I could go through and maybe just cut back the stuff that's low to the ground. Then over here. So, before, after, before, after. And lastly, before, after. Alright, I don't know how the before and after is going to come out. What I do know, the only thing I care about, is I'm done. Done, done, done. I have to say, that looks so much better. There were the Persicara and all kinds of things. This, you couldn't even see this line. This here, everywhere, everything I just showed you, all this is all drainage. So it's important that it gets top dressed and gutted out. I had to dig it out, and I'm going to handle everything over there tomorrow. Pretend you didn't see that. But by having everything pulled back, you can see the lines. I need to move this ginger, but yeah, much, much, much more clean looking. And everything stands out a lot better too. I'm happy with it. Finally, this video, hello from Reflection Me, the video that's coming out, came out Thursday for you guys. Today's Wednesday. Oh my goodness, man. It was an editing nightmare. Not entirely certain why. There's nothing crazy about it. I used multiple cameras this time. I think that has a lot to do with it. I'm not used to editing multiple cameras. And I spent literally 2.5 hours trying to find a specific royalty-free song, and I never found it. So I said, screw it. Doesn't matter. Time to move on with the day, finally. And it is too sunny to see anything. There's some nice pretty shadows though, aren't they? So I'm seeing now that there are some spots in here I need to trench out. As I mentioned before, this is drainage. It all goes to a drain. So I'm going to fix that. I'm not going to do that on camera because it's boring. But I have this area. Last week I fixed up the other space. You know, that one down there in the glare. Back there. That was all a mess. That's fixed. In this particular area, I know it just looks like a junkyard. That's because I've been using it as like a rehab position. It gets the right amount of light and it gets the irrigation, hits everything just right. It's a good place to send plants that need a little bit of extra help. These are all the alacajas or calacajas I dug up that I was going to throw away, and I was like, yeah, I don't really want to. So I went ahead and I threw those in a pot, and I'm going to cut off dying leaves. I might just cut the whole thing back and let it grow into its thing. But this area, I had a plan for it, and I decided I'm not going to go through with it. Originally, this spot I thought would be a great area to plant cypripediums, the hardy lady slipper orchids, and I would bring them through the front around this lava stone. But, you know, I've thought about it a little bit more, and the way this whole area is irrigated, I can't really isolate this spot from my irrigation. The only reason that matters is because our groundwater, our tap water, is very hard, very alkaline. It's about, ranges anywhere from 8.2 to 8.6. It varies a lot. The lady slippers, they're not going to like that. And I can't really think of a nice way that I would get them planted in here. So, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and just stage this area and do something quick, fun, and easy with it, and that'll... Next year, it doesn't really look like it. This is a pretty big spot to garden up here. And then there's like this. I hate this thing. I don't want it out here. But it's where all the leaf debris and everything from the pool goes. I would like to think there's a better place to put that, though. So I'm going to work on this a little bit while the video, Thursday's video, is processing. And yeah, we'll see what I come up with here. And here's the before. After. What do you think? Took me not too terribly long. Used materials I already had. I had the rocks, I had the moss, I had all of these plants. They were just in different places, and I put them together over here. As far as compatibility goes, like the croton, they need more light, and the Chinese fan palm's gonna need more light, the spindle palm. This is just for a few weeks. On that note, in a few weeks, I'm having a very, very, very large party here, and that's why I'm just throwing things together kind of like this. Otherwise, I wouldn't bother. I would just wait till next year and garden it with perennials, landscape it, plant it up with perennials. Yeah, that makes more sense. But I don't really have time for that this year. So, I mean, I think it looks pretty good. The ginger... 2 of the gingers are perennial, but everything else in here, well, the set crescia, that usually comes back every year. But otherwise, oh, and the Chinese fan palm, that comes back every year too. I put these lava rocks in here, so they frame around. There's one over here that's been there for years, has a lot of moss on it. I need to clean up the bamboo that's around it. But I thought that it would look more naturalized in here if I went out and I got some mulch and some more gravel, tidy the area up, and so it kind of makes the rocks look like they're in the ground a little bit without having to dig them out. And then I put this moss in there to naturalize it, so it looks like it's been here for a long time. I think it looks cool. I also think it looks kind of like something you'd see in like the lobby of like a hospital. But it's good. It'll do. It's only for like, what, 6 weeks, and then I'm going to have to take care of all this and do something else with it. So I'm going to go ahead and enjoy it while I can. Ideally, I would have loved to have worked a lot of blooming orchids in here, but I really didn't want to mess with them. I don't want to mess with my orchids. Guzmani Bromeliads, there is an Alpinia Zarumbut back there, a Calathea ginger right here, a Curcuma Scarlet Fever, which as it gets a little bit taller, you'll be able to see how bright and red the stems are. Back there are the Cordylines Australis that were in a video a few days ago. Chinese fan palm. I really don't have any annuals left, so I just kind of threw scraps from other pots in there, and I may end up just taking that out because it looks, I'm not thrilled with how that looks. Croton, spindle palm, yeah, I like it. And I almost forgot to put this guy away. So here's where that was before. It was in this brown pot. My micro sprinklers are on right now, so I'm going to go, what is this? I was looking everywhere for this. I'm gonna go ahead and let those run, and then I'm gonna come over here and refill the basin and see how it looks. Alright, I accidentally hit that a little bit too hard with the hose. So, a little mad at me right now. It'll be fine. Not too worried. There it is. I like that blue mixed in with the rock and the moss and the ferns and everything. Like it a lot. And if you don't know, this is my Serenity Garden, which I have yet to spend any time in. But I'm ready to make a change with that. So I think I can go ahead and wrap up the rest of my supplies and move them to where I store my leftovers and get this place looking proper. And look at how good everything's looking over here. He's not dead. And then hopefully very shortly, this will look nice too. Done. Wait for it. Sort of. I say sort of because I always say no garden is ever complete. I wouldn't want my garden to be complete. What would I do with myself? I would be bored out of my mind. This is pretty much done. There's nothing left to add to it. It just needs a little bit of manicuring and cleaning, but I'm very pleased, and I will surely be making adjustments throughout the season because there are things that can't stay out here, like the Croton philodendron, the monstera back there. Those are all going to have to go inside, and I'll be swapping things out with perennials that I already have, and trying to kind of keep this motif going. Put a few little bromeliads on the table there. I have a couple planters I want to do specifically for this table. Those will probably be next week or the week after, or they'll be in next week's vlog. I don't know. I don't know what the future holds. But as far as this goes, it's a mess, but it's my kind of mess. I like it. And I have to point out, these Japanese anemones, out of everything over here, these might be my favorite thing. As far as something that flowers in the shade goes, it really seems like the more shade we get over here, the more, like the sun, just every day there's less and less sun over here, the absolute more that these flower and just thrive. And I'm not saying you should grow these in pure shade. I think they should get probably a good 3 to 4 hours of sun. But they're doing very well. They have a really nice, dainty, delicate texture. They look a little bit wild. They fit well over here. I'm really liking those. And do you remember me saying I want to rip out my zygopetalum, but I'm afraid to? I'm not really afraid, it's just I know something might go wrong. It has spikes on it, 3, so I'm just gonna leave it alone. You know, and as happy as I am to have things cleaned up over there, I really do think the gem of this week, in my opinion, is this corner right here. So stinking pretty. You see here the banana bloom's still going. Very weird that it's even blooming. The bloom over here in the agave gets bigger by the day and more inappropriate looking. And one of my crinums is still blooming. This is a super Ellen. Never bloomed for me before, and I'm getting 2 spikes in 1 year. But I do need to wrap this up because I gotta get this edited and all that fun stuff done so I can get on and start doing things over the weekend. I hope everybody down in Florida is okay. I know this is coming out the day that Hurricane Irma is supposed to hit everybody, so you're in my thoughts. I hope everybody's safe. Stay safe and be careful. Alright, I hope everybody's doing well. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff if you already haven't. I love talking to y'all. Don't forget to follow me on Snapchat, Trop Plant Party. I try and upload multiple times a week. And as always, keep on growing, everybody. Bye-bye.